Here to introduce Kit Goldsbury is Hall of Fame legend Graham Weston.
It's great to have the Hall of Fame in San Antonio this year. We get to show off our city to you. We're very proud of this city. The person who has made the greatest contribution to this city, the greatest in the last 20 years, is Kit Goldsbury. I hope all of you recognize Pace Picante Sauce, a company built to be $1 billion company. But I think the most important part of his life began after that, because he decided to build something beautiful for his hometown of San Antonio. He bought the Pearl against the advice of his advisors. You can understand that. The Pearl was a money pit. Who would have advised him to take an old brewery, a derelict brewery, and build it into something beautiful? It seemed impossible, but he did it anyway. The first featured tenant he wanted to have in there was the Culinary Institute of America, the CIA, the premier culinary school in America. And everyone said he couldn't get the CIA to move to San Antonio. But he did it with a lot of creativity and his vision. He was just determined to make it happen. And then he launched the Hotel Emma. Without a Marriott flag, without a Hyatt flag, he built it his own. And the experts said he couldn't do it. But I challenge you to find a room in the Emma Hotel. You know, Kit is not an artist, but he loves beauty. And he loves the fact that the Emma is so beautiful, and his every detail is something that he's proud of, just silently. Because Kit's face is not recognized in San Antonio very often, and that's exactly the way he wants it. So I like to think about Kit's face for our city as being the beauty at Pearl. But I think the other part of the story is not about beauty or things. It's about the way he treats people. He's known for saying that it doesn't cost anything to treat people well, and that's exactly how he operates. One of my favorite businesses that he grew to being a mammoth everyday brand is NatureSweet tomatoes. You'll see them in the store. They used to be in the little on the vine package. Now they're in little cartons, little packages. You know, we all know that we go to Mexico if we want to find cheap labor, right? That's not why he went to Mexico. He grew up going to his family's ranch down in Mexico, spoke Spanish, and really had a feel for the goodness and the capability and the dignity of the Mexican people. So he grew NatureSweet in Mexico because that's where that company needed to be. And he built it with 6,000 hardworking employees who got dignity and a good job, and he treated them well. If you want to see the beauty that he's brought to the world, please go to the Hotel Emma and walk around the Pearl. You'll see everyone is included at the Pearl. Everyone is invited, whether you bring an ice chest or whether you buy a popsicle from him or not. Everyone is invited. And if you go there on almost every night, you'll see everyone from across San Antonio there. He's a man of inclusion. He's a man of respect for the people. I admire him so much. And just know that he has brought so much change, beauty, and belief. We're a city on the rise, and he's a very big reason why. I'm honored to introduce Kit Goldsbury.
Thank you, Graham. I sincerely appreciate your recognition and the recognition of this esteemed organization. Now, I'm not much on making speeches. I never have liked to it much, like my friend who I think's in computers, if anybody knows Graham very well. So he showed me, don't worry about this is not a big deal. He took out a computer, he punched in a few letters, and out comes a speech. And it mentioned everything I was probably going to mention and everything else. I couldn't believe it. I said, well, no sweat. I'll just punch in this machine and spit something out and have a great speech. Well, the only trouble with that is Graham Weston introduced me. He knows a little something about computers and things, so everybody would get that, knowing that I know nothing except a little hot sauce and some ranching and so forth. Anyway, as I've been reflecting on my journey to this point, a couple of themes have showed up. First, I was thinking about the culture of Texas, what it asks us and what it inspires in us. Growing up here, there was always a sense of wide openness, the bigness of our skies, and the sheer vastness and still wildness of this place inspired me to dream big, to dream about making an impact on my city, my community, and on the lives of people in the generations that will follow. I wasn't always sure about how, but I was always sure about the why, and I was always excited by the challenge of figuring it out. Dreams are what reveal our interests, what we are drawn to, and often what we have a natural ability to do well. Those are the characteristics that turn dreams into realities and transform ideas, teams, and in our case, businesses. I've found that the cycle of dreaming, focusing, and practicing is at the heart of what we all do to achieve our goals, and most importantly, to create space for others to achieve their dreams as well. As I reflect on my own life, one of the first memories of recognizing leadership was when I was a kid on our ranch in northern Mexico. This was a working ranch and still is, and the vaqueros would ride and run cattle across vast distances. One vaquero stood out to me. He was clearly the leader. Everyone followed him, listened to him, looked to him when things got tough, but also when it was time to celebrate, he'd lead. Believe me, he'd lead. One time, they all wore shirts that had the ranch name on it, and they have big rodeos and stuff in town, and here were all these cowboys with our shirts on with the Bobby printed on them. They were all drunk as heck. So we made them get off those horses and take those shirts off and keep drinking. Yet he was a quiet guy, never yelling, not the biggest, showiest of the cowboys, the leader. He got me to thinking, what characteristics did this man possess that inspired his team to look to him as their leader? As I watched more carefully, I noticed the subtle things he did, like listening to people, giving other cowboys the chance to take the lead, supporting versus commanding. Whether I knew it or not at the time, I believe I took these lessons learned from a quiet cowboy with me and through many different roles in my life. At Pace, we were growing the company. I knew that we needed to create a culture that encouraged a listening leadership, not a commanding leadership, so that every associate felt like they had a voice and a real role in what we were all creating together. That has always been the thing that I'm most excited about, and it's at the center of everything I've worked on, from Pace to NatureSweet, to La Babia to Pearl, to Hotel Emma to the CIA. They're not made real by me, but by teams of people that have dreamt them with me. And that's a really important element of all of this for me, not just me believing in my own dreams, but truly believing in dreams of others. That's the engine for everything. Every day over the course of my life, I've been awestruck and inspired by the power that human beings have when they believe in themselves and their dreams. So find something you're good at and spend a lot of time on it. I see it in the fierceness of the freshman year culinary student, first in their family to go to college, with a passion and a vision for what they want to create through their work. I see it in our associates at Emma, by one of the housekeeping managers who declares they have committed to transforming the hospitality industry through their passion to extraordinary service. I see it in the entrepreneurs that bring their ideas to us, trust us with their unique talents and visions, and take the leap with us to create new things. And I see it today among my fellow honorees, leaders who have innovated, led with their dreams. Their incredible hard work and abilities reveal their hearts. In their commitments, they have made and turned dreams into world-changing realities. Again, I want to thank the Business Hall of Fame for acknowledging me today, and in doing so, acknowledging the incredible teams of people I've had the privilege of working with throughout my many adventures. I want to thank our great state of Texas, home to big dreams and bigger hearts, a place and culture in which anything is possible when we work together, trust each other, and dream big. I want to thank my wife, Angie, who saved my life by blessing me with our son, Christopher, and supporting me all these years. And in closing, I'll leave with this thought that I often tell my son, Christopher: if you can dream it, you can do it. Thank you.